Hey guys, it's Libby. This is my wrap up of the second half of June and July, because June was a weird month for me. Check out my last TBR if you want to know more. And then it's also my August TBR, and I'm not going to edit it because I do not have time, so it's going to suck. So this has been like the busiest 3 weeks of my life, not my life, of the year. I have been to college, so it's not the busiest period of my life. I double majored. It was tough. Why? This is why I need to edit, because this is so bad. You don't care. I had like 3 big important things going on, and the BookTube-a-thon. As it turns out, I was not able to also do the BookTube-a-thon. I got like a third of the way into the 2 books I was reading, Rebecca and Radiance by Catherine Valente, because I know there's a lot of books called Radiance. And then I just, by Thursday, I had to give up. So that's why there were no videos from me about that. So let's get to the meat. This month and a half, I have read 0 novels, 1 graphic novel, 2 audiobooks, and 11 short stories. So first audiobook that I listened to was The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole. I may be pronouncing it wrong. The audiobook narrator said Otranto. On the other hand, he also said Hippolyta instead of Hippolyta, so I'm going to go with my gut instinct as opposed to his gut instinct on this, but I may be wrong. This is considered to be the first Gothic novel. It was published in like the 1760s. My gut is telling me 1764, but I'm not positive, and I don't have time to look it up. But Wikipedia exists, so you can look it up. I thought it was interesting. It's very over the top. If you've read Northanger Abbey, that's parodying the sort of thing that this was. It's set in the Middle Ages in Italy in a dark castle, and there's like a bad guy who ruins life for the beautiful virgins, and all of the other various nice, good Christian people. There is a ghost. So it's a proper supernatural Gothic story. Some Gothic stories are more sort of hinting at the possibility of the supernatural, or it has characters that believe in the supernatural, but that doesn't actually happen in the real world. But this one has like a straight up ghost, and I think there's also a straight up angel. And you know, if you can get into the mood of it, it's sort of fun. It was short. It was like a 6-hour audiobook. If it had been like a 16-hour audiobook, that might have gotten a bit dull, but I did enjoy it. And then after Castle of Otranto, apparently nobody knows, was the Cramathon, which is where I read those 11 short stories. So since I've already done a vlog for Cramathon where I talk about those short stories as I was reading them, I'm just going to give you a brief list of recommend and not recommend. So the ones that I recommend that you read are Brimstone and Marmalade on Tor.com, The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe, Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, The Thrilling Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage by Sidney Padua, which is a graphic novel, and The Waters of Versailles on Tor.com. That's a novella, it's a bit longer. And then the not recommend are The Fall of the House of Usher by Poe, The Horrid Glory of Its Wings on Tor, Murders in the Rue Morgue by Edgar Allan Poe, Men Who Wish to Drown on Tor.com, and Some Gods of El Paso on Tor.com. And then the last thing that I read after the Cramathon was Under Major Domo Minor by Patrick DeWitt. This was a very unusual book, kind of had some Gothic feels. I do want to give it its own review, A, because there's no way I can be coherent about it without editing, and B, because it would dominate this video. So the short synopsis is I did like it, and I listened to it as an audiobook, and the audiobook narrator was very good. So if you are willing to take my recommendation with no other information, the audiobook is a good way to go. Although you may need to like at least read a synopsis afterwards, or if you're brave as you go along, because there are really odd spellings and pronunciations. So if you want to write a review, make sure you know how to spell Maeve. Yeah, so that's the wrap-up part. Now we do the TBR part. So right now, I had 2 books going before the Booktubeathon started. They were The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett, which is the first book in the Tiffany Aching series, and the other one was not Rebecca, not Radiance. It was The House on the Strand by Daphne du Maurier. And so I was reading those, and then I stopped in order to do my Booktubeathon challenge books, because those ones didn't really fit in. Although I guess Terry Pratchett is one of my favorite authors, and so is Daphne du Maurier, so they could have counted for that one. Anyway, so I started Radiance and Rebecca. I am about to leave on like a 3-week trip to the West Coast, so next time you see me will probably be from my aunt's house, unless you are subscribed to my other channel where I talk about historical costuming. I will be posting vlogs from Costume College, which is a big historical and fantasy costuming convention over there. I got sidetracked. So I'm going to be bringing Rebecca and the We Free Men with me on that. Mainly so I have 1 book to read on the plane ride out there, and then 1 book to read on the plane ride back. And then I suspect I will be busy enough in the middle to not need a book, because I'm going to Costume College, then I'm going to be visiting my aunt for 10 days, then I'm going to the Dota 2 International. If you know what that is, you are jealous of me. And so while I'm there, I do have a Scribd membership, so if I get through The We Free Men, which is what I'm going to read on the plane ride out there, then I will probably turn to some of the stuff there. I'm thinking thoughts about that middle grade series by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi. The one that's kind of like Series of Unfortunate Events. What's it called? One of the books is called The Wrath of Mulgarth. That series, you know what it is. So I may be reading that while I'm out there. I also may be listening to some audiobooks. Oh, I have started the audiobook of, it's by Karen Lord, and it's called Redemption in Indigo. So I guess I have 5 currently reading books. That's too many. I need to get through some of those. And then I also have my eye on North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Okay, I should stop now. I believe I have told you all the things I need to tell you. Yep. Okay. I'm sorry for this.